drop some stuff. Hello. Just doing a little test. How you doing, David? Hopefully you're having a great day. Merry Christmas to you. I'm mainly testing my live stream capabilities in the shop. It's not got good signal out here, or it didn't have. I bought a little extender, and I installed it the other day. Hadn't had a chance to try it out yet. It picks up the Wi-Fi from the house and boosts it out here in the garage because it's in a metal building. So the way I was checking in on some of that stuff, it was saying I was going to need a bridge or something, and those were substantially more money. So instead I bought an extender and put it over close to the window where I get the best signal when I was trying to stream before, and that was the only way I could stream. It had to sit right up against the window, and even then I don't think it was the best setup for that. I've been doing some experimenting with some different stain colors. This one, I don't know how well this is going to show up as far as color. I think it doesn't look too bad. It's kind of a dark purple. It was ox blood that I put on first, and I let that dry just a little bit, and then I put a coat of black over it, and yeah, it doesn't really come through the best. It looks kind of purple. Hello, Elijah. How you doing? But yeah, I've been doing a little experimenting with stain colors, and we're gonna see probably see a few different colors coming out from me in the near future. I was looking for something to cushion my sanding paper. I think I found it. I think I'm going to use a little piece of aluminum. The Cheeky Amputee. How you doing, Yusuf? Good to see you. Breaking in LCS 1095. 2-knuckle bamboo apple with some We Three Kings. Nice. Hey, Yusuf, hopefully you're doing good. It warmed up a little bit here in Indiana. I think we got up in the 40s or 50s today. I was kind of surprised. I actually able to walk out of work and it felt fairly comfy. Let's see if this will work for me. Just gonna try a little strip of leather wrapped in my sandpaper. Some sort of architect. I'm actually a artisan pipe maker. And got some sandblasting going on there. You and Chris got a lot of tasting. You already saw that, Yusuf? It's crazy, isn't it? I was shocked, to say the least. Yeah, Chris isn't aware how much tasting we have going on. Oh, nice. I'm actually an engineering tech, Elijah, in my day job, and I do some machining at work for that. And then that's helped me with my artisan pipe making, because I already have that skill set of running a lathe. So that's helped out a lot with doing this. So I was saying I was doing some experimenting, Yusuf. I stained this pipe here with a ox blood stain, and then I went over it with black. So you can kind of, hopefully you can kind of get an idea. I know, got another light here. Is it plugged in? That's the question. Yep, it is. We'll try to turn this around with my water so I don't spill that. We'll get it turned around so we can put some light on the subject. Yeah, that kind of washes it out. It's a little bit too bright. But yeah, it's more of a kind of a dark purple look, and that's probably fairly decent. And I'm gonna sand the smooth rim, and I'm gonna go over it with a different color on top to give it an accent, or a little bit of contrast, I think. That's the first time I've done a one color stain over another, so wasn't really sure how it would turn out, but I'd seen other pipe makers do it. So it's definitely kind of an experiment right now to see what the finish turns out like as far as coloring. I think it's going to be pretty interesting, and I was telling David you're going to see a lot more variation probably in colors if I'm going to start doing this type of thing. Luckily, another pipe maker, a friend of mine lives here in Indiana, allows me to come over to his house and use his sandblasting setup, because I have not invested in that yet. That's going to take quite a bit of an investment again, since I haven't completely got the rest of the machinery funded or paid for yet. I'm going to have to wait just a little bit before I go making another sizable investment in the company machinery. But I'm looking forward to getting my own, where I'll be able to just step out here in the garage and hop into it. But it's definitely a blessing to be able to go over to his place and use his equipment. How's the streaming doing? We're already at 10 minutes. Holy smokes. Glad to see you're enjoying the pipe, Yusuf. Is the streaming pretty steady, or is it up and down? Is it hanging up or anything? I was telling David I added a Wi-Fi extender so I can stream out here. So maybe in the future I'll be able to do a little bit more. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Thanks, Yusuf. Hopefully I'll be able to do a little more pipe making streaming videos now that I have decent service out here. I'll be able to move the camera around the shop or my phone around the shop and still get good signal, and won't have it freezing up on anybody. And I want to do it for a while, but I'm getting ready to enlist the training of another pipe maker, and he lives far enough away. The only way I can do that is via FaceTime or Zoom or something like that. Glacius, hello, how are you? 5 out of 5, awesome, that's great to hear. I didn't know if this would fix my problem or not, but I couldn't have it hanging up in the process of trying to take an educational course or take some training from another pipe maker. Let's see what happens. I'm going to add a different color, I think, to the top of this. Not black and not oxblood, which is the two colors that were currently used. We're not going to use that again. I don't have that color out here yet, though, so I probably won't be staining anything on this live, but just mainly polishing it off. And man, this has got some crazy looking bird's eye in it. Swirly, nice swirly pattern. This is an Emberling, probably going above and beyond for the Emberlings, but my Emberling series, not only is it my more affordable line, it's also a line that I can experiment with and learn things on, since I'm not as critical to get exactly one look or another like I'm typically going for with my Shire series. Like, I don't think a purplish wizard pipe would be very fitting of Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's very cool looking, I think. This is turning out well. Now, don't think I'll be doing this to all my pipes in this color coordination scheme, but it's definitely something different. Let's see if I can show you the top of this now that I've kind of got it, whoa, sanded back and ready for the next color or stain to be put on it. Let's see, try to. It's kind of on the edge of the screen there. Hopefully that's coming through better. Looks like it is. Got some wild grain going on that side, a little bit of bird's eye down in here. That ring grain's just kind of all over the place on that side. This side, the ring grain was a little more consistent and pretty wild. Grain was going straight up this side, looked pretty nice. But for an Emberling, I think it's going to turn out fairly decent. But yeah, we'll I don't know if to do a tan or a lighter brown on the top there, just give it an accent. But it's definitely going to have that purplish or that oxblood undertone. But that's going to be something to try out. One of the guys was asking me if I was an architect earlier, and obviously the answer is no, but here's another Grunewald pipe, and you can see the grain and the blast on that. And I try to, you can see it's quite a bit smoother right there at the transition. Some of the artisan pipe makers will put a ring of tape around there and you have this hard stop. And I'll do that on some pipes, but I'm kind of enjoying just fading away. Hey, how's it going, Plunder? I kind of like the way the blast is heavier here, and then as you get closer to the transition between it and the stem, it smooths out. That way the transition remains smooth. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this little Aragorn style or Ranger style pipe with the blasting of that one. I blasted probably eight pipes the other day when I went over to my friend's, and he was busy shaping pipes, and we had a nice day. It was pretty nasty here. It was I think we got 6 or 7 inches of snow while I was gone. I left the house here about 11, and I think we got about a half an inch of snow probably before I got 30 minutes away, and the roads were pretty treacherous and I was sliding around everywhere, and I just had to take it slow and easy. Got over to his house and spent about 6 hours over there. About 6 o'clock or a little after, I started heading home, and it was still snowing some and the roads were horrible. There was people off the roads, but I just slowed down and took it easy to get home, and we had a good time that day, just hanging out, had a pipe together, and I sandblasted and he shaped. Hey Greg, nice to see you stop by. Oh, definitely time well spent. Here's what I was doing earlier, Greg. Mainly this live is just to test my signal strength. I put in a Wi-Fi extender, and wanted to make sure that I get a good feed to where it's nice and smooth, and you can kind of see the top of this where I sanded it off, and you can see the bird's eye, and this stain's a little different than normal, Greg. This I did a ox blood underneath, and then topped it with a black, and it's turned out a real burgundy looking, dark burgundy or dark purple. So I'm gonna do an accent top over this. I sanded it back and do kind of a contrast stain here. I'll leave the ox blood there, and then I'm gonna put a either a light tan or something like that, just to try to make it pop a little bit. Experiment. Whoa, squeak, squeak. It's kind of an experiment with my Emberling pipes to just try to learn some new techniques and some different color variations. A lot of my pipes in the past have been like yours, Greg. They're a real rich dark brown and then black accent to them. I've always really liked the look of that. I think it's a warm and classy and kind of a high end, I guess. It just reminds me of quality to see those dark colors like that, and combination, especially the dark brown and black. And so that's why I went with the black and dark brown early on. And the guy that actually inspired me to do those color combinations on the same pipe was Phil Rivara. I saw a couple of his pipes that were dark brown and black, and they just seemed to pop. Black walnut good for? I do not think black walnut is good for pipes, Plunder. You could probably use it as an accent, but I don't think you actually want it exposed to the draft or the bowl. I've never really looked up what woods there are, but I know there are a few woods out there that are toxic and for some reason I was wanting to say black walnut's one of them as far as smoking. Obviously, it's not toxic to have on a piece of furniture or something, but yeah, I don't think it's good to smoke out of. We have some black walnut here, close to me here in Indiana. I think I have some. I actually have some black walnuts right beside me, but they're not my trees. I get the benefit of picking up all the walnuts every year, but that's about the extent of that. I did dry some out and eat some one year. Those were pretty good. Can't remember who it was, but it seems like I remember somebody telling me black walnut was not good. Could be wrong. I'm sure Chat GPT or Grok or one of those could probably give you a more definite answer on what woods are safe to use for making smoking pipes. I don't know what color of stem I'm going to go with on this. Let's see. I've got some different colors here. I don't think yellow is going to be it. Try. Here's a black or a gray with a nice little swirl to it. That may not be too bad. I could go. Oh no, I don't think it's gonna make it. Wonder if I polish that up real quick. See what this looks like. This is kind of it's an acrylic mouthpiece. These pre-mades that go on my Emberlings, but it's oh yeah, that's not gonna work. It's almost like a Cumberland look to it. It's got two different colors running through it. But it's more of a brown, it looks like, than red going through it. Let's see, got a turtle shell here. Confined combustion apparatus. That would qualify. Don't like the red and purple, I don't think. I like the red on a lot of pipes, but not with the ox blood, I don't think. Not a big fan of the light blue, the frost blue either. Got a white. Whites, ooh, that's a big difference. Don't know about that. Thought I had just a pure black one in here somewhere. Maybe there it is. Looks kind of gray here because it's not polished up, but that may just take a black. So much other colors going on with that. That may just be a black one. Black stem with that. Here's a green. I'm not a fan of green with it either. So I'm thinking probably black will be the color. Let's see what this does. Not using the polishing wheel, but using 1200 grit sandpaper. We'll use just a little bit of water. See if that'll polish it up a little bit and give us a truer black color. Nope, looks like it's really gonna have to be polished up to get that better black a shiny black look. It's a little blacker, but not enough to matter. Yeah, I think black's going to be the color for that one. Looks like I need to get me another bag of mouthpieces. Debating about doing that this coming Friday. I'm not sure. In order to do that, I'd probably have to make a trip over to Chicago. No, not Chicago. Jeez, where's my brain? Probably have to make a trip over to Columbus, Ohio. We could, thanks, Plunder. Let's see. Looks like it's mostly right now I've got this deal set up for clamping pipes up and sanding them. I'm gonna move that out of the way. And then I have a little board here set up to see if we can get moved around a little better. To open the mouthpieces up, because these mouthpieces come in just drilled. And they're not drilled very good. Speaking of which, 1 second. Be right back with you. I have a 9/64 drill bit. It's tapered, as you can see. Tapers down to a point, and that point fits in this end. So you want to keep it small on that end, and we're going to drill from this end and open that up. We'll go ahead and do that while we're here. Stain from staining pipes all over my hands. So we'll go from the shank end of it, and we're going to open this up. Because this hole in this end was the same size as the hole in the mouthpiece, or in the bit zone, and we can't have that, because that would restrict the airflow. These pre-made stems are just drilled straight through, basically, and that doesn't allow them to breathe well. I need to take a look at this and see how deep we can go. I need to cut that back a little bit. Let's see where that will get us. Try to go just a little deeper. That ought to work. So we'll run this in until we get to the chuck. If I can hold on to it. Let's see. That's pretty good. Man, this chair, I'm gonna have to put some oil on it or something. This thing's squeaky. Probably irritating the tar out of you guys. So now, got a little saw blade. Got a couple grooves in the board to hold the mouthpiece. And just start working my way in from the bit. And we're gonna funnel that open. And by funneling this is what an artisan pipe maker does to a handmade stem. It's just with these pre-made stems, it's saving me the time of shaping all this down and getting this bite zone thin enough to usually around 4 millimeters. So this is the main reason the Emberlings are much more budget friendly, because I'm not spending 2 to 3 hours making a hand cut stem. I have done some, and I do plan on doing more complete handmade pipes, but this is in order to be able to offer something that a little bit wider group of people. I don't want to isolate somebody that doesn't want to spend the money for the Lord of the Rings series. I shouldn't say Lord of the Rings series, because they're not really Lord of the Rings series. They're Lord of the Ring inspired pipes is what they are. So let me correct that. My Lord of the Ring inspired pipes are completely handmade, so they run more. Whereas these pipes, since I don't hand make the stems, save me time, but yet by doing this here, this will make it smoke like a handmade, or very close to. And I can, I'm getting to where I can open one of these up in about 15 to 20 minutes. Originally it was taking longer. I got a file that I can run in here. We're getting close. So I'll start filing to smooth everything out, instead of using the saw blade all the way through. Check my depth. I have a, can't hardly see it, but I have a line here on my file that helps me gauge when I'm getting far enough in to open that funnel up. Because the goal is to carry the same volume of air from the round hole all the way back to the oval shaped hole. And these pre-made stems already have a pretty wide slot. A handmade stem typically doesn't have that wide a slot. I don't think it's required as far as keeping the airflow correct. I think this opening could be smaller, but since the acrylic stem already has this width, then I go ahead and just try to funnel it out to that width, so the smoke flows nice and even down through the draw. Once I get to that black mark all the way, then I will probably take a piece of sandpaper and open or break the edges here a little bit. Maybe a little more than I have to, but the attention to detail, even on the lower end budget pipes, is nice sometimes. I want people to feel that they get a value, good quality product, and a good value for their money. So We don't want to sharp, since that's, I've heard other pipe makers say this is the most intimate part of the pipe because it's what you come in contact with. So I think breaking this edge, especially the amount of time that it'll take, is time well spent. We can break it a little bit with this file. I've seen some of them use rotary tools to kind of break this edge a little bit. Also have a round file that we can break this with a little bit. It's all kinds of wiggly. So let's see, we'll try to find, I don't know what this is. This may be set up for 1/4 inch. I think that is. We won't use that one. We'll use this 320 here. We'll just take it into the mouthpiece right here. This is something that's not too critical, that if you ever notice a mouthpiece that you notice that edge a little bit on, you could get you a little piece of sandpaper and come in here and just round that edge over a little bit with it in order to get away from that sharp edge. In case you notice, not everybody's going to notice this. As far as in the contact with their pipe, they may not notice that sharp edge. And when I say a sharp edge, all it is if you take a piece of metal, they have surface grinders that I used to use when we use knives and anvils on our machine. And the way these, let's see if I can see something here. The way the knife and anvil worked wasn't like a knife, like a pocket knife or anything like that was sharp. I use these two edges just to demonstrate. They work kind of like scissors. You come in, and when those two edges hit, that's where your cutting action happens if this was metal. But what enables that is to have a nice sharp corner. And when I say sharp, I mean it comes to a very definite point. It's 90 degrees, or you could even cut it back a little bit less. It could be cut back a little bit less, so that point is actually your highest point. So when it comes into contact here, it would actually cause a shearing effect. So they consider that sharp, even though it may not be sharp like a knife, where you can cut yourself easily. You can cut yourself when you have a piece of metal that's ground to an edge like that, but that's the type of sharp I'm referring to, is just that edge there being very specific and to that corner. I don't know that many people are going to notice, but some people are going to notice when a mouthpiece comes into contact with their tongue. They'll feel that little edge, and that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be a definite edge there. So you come in here with a piece of sandpaper, you can fold it over, leave a little bit of radius here. Don't fold it really sharp, don't like crease it. And then that way you can get in here and it'll make a nice little round. And you can kind of roll it a little bit as you pull out. And that'll help break that edge. Like I say, it's not going to be sharp to the point it'll cut you. It'll be a more defined feel there if you don't break the edge. And like I say, most people probably won't even notice. But do the extra here, and that'll make a nice little break over. I think we'll do a little bit more. And you can see where it's hitting. That little gray line there is where I'm breaking it over a little bit, rolling that edge. Because that's what happens with those shear cut knives, is once that edge gets rolled, it's a lot harder to get them to cut when they come in contact with each other. Used to do that cutting towel. Our machine had, I forget whether, I think there was 16 of them, and there was 8 anvils and 16 knives. So it was kind of weird because for every knife you had 2, or for every anvil you had 2 knives, and you had to set them up to where both of them basically came in at exactly the same depth and pressure in order so it would cut the towel. But that's probably stuff you don't want to know anything about. Just something rolling around in my head. This stem will have to be cleaned up a little bit more and polished up before it's ready to go on the pipe permanently, but I think this is the stem that's going to go with that pipe that I've been working on. Well, wonder if I have some more. I got all kinds of little scraps of sandpaper here. We'll rip this one long ways. Try to fold it in a V and see if we can get down in the mouthpiece a little farther. There we go. So we'll sand that out just a little bit internally and smooth it out. And with this acrylic, it doesn't take a whole lot. As you can see, I mean, I've made pretty good progress getting it opened up with the V-slot. Breaking the edge went pretty quick. Now we can get to a little bit farther back in the internals. That smoothed it out pretty quick. So yeah, I think that's the one. I think we'll polish that. I think we'll polish that black stem up, and that'll go with this pipe. The only thing is I need to polish it, and when I polish it, right now it's not going in very far, so I'll try to polish it pretty heavy here and remove a little bit of the diameter so we can get just a little bit farther up into the shank. Right now it's only going about 5/16 of an inch up in there, so it needs to go in deeper than that, and we'll polish that up and get a better fitment on there. And I think I'm gonna go with straight. What's your guys' thought? Should I go with a straight mouthpiece on this? It's just got a slight angle coming off the shank. You can't really tell it there very well. But yeah, it does lift some off the shank. But that's what we got at the moment, guys. That's what I'm working on. And I just wanted to share some of that with you. Hopefully you found it interesting. Come back up here, I guess. Iceman, Game 90, how you doing? It's 12:40 a.m. in South America. Late afternoon, it is 5:42 here at this very moment, so 7-ish hours behind you. Oh, I see. Sorry, Smarty Bob. I had the phone down at an angle. I couldn't see the comments. When's dinner time? That's a good question. I'd have to check with Mrs. Grunewald to find out what we're even having. Glad you made the live today, Bob. That was a nice Secret Santa that we saw you unboxing earlier. Iceman says 11:42 where he's at. Some late night guys on here. Oh, let's see. We got 4 people in here. Squeak, squeak, squeak. I'm gonna have to oil this thing for the next live. We don't need that stuff going on. You're a girl. Well, it says Ice Man, not Ice Woman, so you fooled us on that one. But I get it. That way people in the game don't give you a hard time when you're gaming. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, Yusuf. They were definitely nice, and I'm not going to keep all that to myself. I'm going to have to take some of those tins to a pipe show and crack them open and share them with some other pipe smokers at the shows. Ah, it's your ex's account. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you're just going incognito when you're in the gaming world. Well, thanks for stopping by. There are some pipe smoking ladies in the pipe smoking community. I don't know if you saw this earlier, Iceman, but this is a sandblasted Aragorn style-ish, kind of similar to what Aragorn was smoking in Lord of the Rings, or at least it's my take on that. Like I said earlier, I don't make Lord of the Rings pipes per se. I make Lord of the Rings inspired pipes. I do not make their pipes. Even did a sandblasted rim on this, which I think turned out pretty cool. Sunset's Good Leaf. Oh, okay. Does a vape? Vape is what I'm assuming. Yeah, that vaping's hard on the lungs, I think. This here is, you don't take it into your lungs, so just a little difference there. All right, well, we're coming up on 50 minutes, and I do need to go in and check and see. Thanks, Bob. I do need to go in and check and see what Mrs. Grunewald has planned for supper and see if she's about got it ready. Because I know I've been out here for a little while longer. Like I said earlier, Bob, this has been a mainly a test. I bought a pan over there. I bought a Wi-Fi extender up there with the little antennas on it, right up there, and plugged in. I purchased one of those so it picks up the Wi-Fi from the house. You can get a decent signal right there at the window. So I put it close to the window, it picks it up, and then it extends it into the rest of the shop area. So hopefully, Bob, I'll be doing some more live streams when I'm at the lathe and stuff. Now I can move around the shop freely with the phone and share what's going on here at Grunewald Pipes with everyone a little easier. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by and visiting with me. It's been good seeing you on here, and I will definitely catch you guys later. Hopefully you have a blessed week, and pipe on.